Hey, what's up, my friend? Are you a small business owner that loves God, family, country, and capitalism? If so, you are in the right place. Welcome to the War Plan Briefing. My name is Joshua Latimer, and today we're going to talk about how you can absolutely thrive, not just survive, during the 2023 recession. Okay, you can win. You can crush it. I'm excited for you. But before I even tell you a few of the things that you can do, I want you to understand how big the market is, how big the opportunity is. And I don't even need to know what kind of business you have. I can just tell you it's way bigger than you think. I love when I'm flying on airplanes going in to maybe to speak somewhere or something. And when you're descending into land, you break through underneath the clouds and you look out the window and there's people freaking everywhere. There's houses everywhere. I love flying into San Diego and there's marinas with $1 million boat, $1 million boat, $2 million boat, $5 million boat, $750,000 boat, $500,000 boat. There's thousands of these things, right? And by the way, if you want to have $1 million and own a boat, the best way to do that is to start with $2 million. Did you know that? Fun fact. No, that's a joke. Boats depreciate really bad. But here's the point. There's wealth everywhere. The market's bigger than you think. When you work out of your home or you're in a small town, we accidentally feel like things are tinier and smaller than they are. Sometimes when I talk to people, I tell them, in your market, in the zip codes that you service, there's probably, 12 to $18 million worth of transactions happening already regarding the stuff that you sell, right? For example, we'll say it's 12 to 18 million, right? You don't have to go create money. You just have to tap into the money that's already being spent, the demand that's already there. People are buying and selling. People have needs. They're Googling and searching all around you at levels that's hard to comprehend, because when you're sitting at your computer all by yourself and then you go knock 10 doors and everybody's mean to you and then you go home discouraged, you're misunderstanding how big the market is, how big the opportunity is. And before we even get into this video, I need you to understand, if your business is really small, the recession shouldn't scare you even a little bit. If you're doing less than $1 million right now, the recession should barely scare you. And the smaller your business is, the less the recession should scare you in the first place. Because when you have 0 customers and you get 1, you just grown by infinity%, right? If you have a small company and you're doing 100 transactions a year and you go to 150, you grew by 50%, right? What's harder during these contractions is for the companies already doing 5 or 6 or 8 million, when they slow down and they have to lay off 20% of their workforce. That's a different thing than you, the owner operator, or you with less than 10 employees. You guys can continue to grow the whole time while all these big guys are scrambling and freaking out, right? A lot of your competitors are just going to give up. They're going to panic. They're going to shut down. All that other call volume is going to go to you because you're super smart. So remember, the market is big. The economy is powerful. And even during the Great Recession, the Great Depression, unemployment, I think, peaked out around 30% or something. And that's horrific, but that means 70% still had a job. We're going to be okay here, okay? First thing you got to do to thrive is you got to relax. Easier said than done, but it's still a requirement. I demand that you learn to relax. I saw a t-shirt one time. It said, the beatings will continue until morale improves, right? It's like a joke, like employee leadership. I'll keep beating you until the morale improves. It's an oxymoron. It's a joke. When I say you got to relax, it's kind of like that. You're like, I can't relax. I'm freaking out. I have no money. My credit card's due and I got to buy milk, right? I totally get it. But, cool heads always prevail. And even though human beings operate on emotion and we justify with logic, we got to make sure there's a time slotted out every day for you to just think really clearly about your market, your business, the opportunity that's in front of you, so you can build a clear-headed, non-reactionary strategy. And that strategy could include a whole bunch of different things. We can talk about that in a minute, but you need to relax, at least for a portion every day, to remember that you have a brain, okay? And you're actually using your brain by even watching this video. Most people, they have a brain. They just don't use their brain. I need you to actually use yours, and you have an instant competitive advantage. We don't have to do crazy complex things to win. We got to do little things. We got to pivot this. We got to reduce that. We're going to lay this one guy off because he was cancerous anyway. We're going to kill these 2 software expenses. And I have been marketing like this, but I think it would be smarter if I did this and this first, then did this. And the only way you can think creatively like that is if you relax It's almost impossible to solve complicated problems when you're all worked up. So if you need to get a massage, pay for the massage. I'll call it a business investment, and you need to write that sucker off. If you need to go on a date with your wife, if you need to take a staycation at the Best Western for 72 hours, then that is what needs to happen. Go to the Best Western, right? And, just check your sheets, make sure there's no hairs on it or anything, but it'll be okay. Just wipe the hair off and have your staycation. The point is, you got to relax and have fun and just think, what is my play here? How are things going in my town? What's the consensus? What's the vibe and the word on the street? But you're going to be the person that has a clear head about it, at least part of the time while you're planning this stuff out. The second thing you need to do is you need to make sure you're solving the right problem. Some people panic and they start trying to solve the wrong problem. Maybe for you, the answer isn't scaling more revenue. Maybe it's focusing on profitability. When I was struggling with my software company, I wired Russell Brunson on the internet $25,000 to help me, right? He had his inner circle program. It costs more now, but at the time it was only a screaming deal at 25 grand. It truly was, right? And when I talked to Russell and I kind of explained all the metrics and the KPIs and everything that was going on, I was like, I can't scale this business. I can't scale this business. And he said, Josh, you're solving the wrong problem, right? He told me this metaphor. Check this out. He said, imagine you're selling watermelons and you pay $1 for each watermelon, okay? You fill up the back of your truck. You have a truckload of $1 watermelons. You drive to the farmer's market and you sell all of them for 50 cents each. Okay, can you see that there's like an intrinsic problem there, right? I paid $1, sold it for 50 cents. That means I lost 50 cents on every one I sold. Well, for a lot of small companies, they don't have the margins that they should, and they're trying to scale, which is a huge mistake. Really, what needs to happen is like the answer to that problem is not to buy 2 trucks full of $1 watermelons, right? I know how to solve it. I need 5 trucks full of $1 watermelons that we sell for 50 cents. No, are you doing that? Maybe you are. But one thing that can help you during a slowdown is you can look at your business more analytically and ask yourself, am I making enough profit? Where can I add more perceived value so I can raise prices? How can I create a new package that's super high ticket just as a decoy offer to make my other packages look sexier so I sell more of them? How can I bolt on a new high ticket service that maybe I'm not doing now, but really fluidly makes logical sense? And what if 1 out of 10 customers bought that $10,000 thing? What if the most expensive thing you sell now is a $1,000 thing, but we could create a $10,000 thing? These types of thoughts can help you solve the right problem. For most small business owners, creating more margin is a no-brainer. Wouldn't you rather have a small business with 5 employees that makes you $250,000 in personal income than have a $2 million business with 22 employees that makes you $250,000 in income? Wouldn't you rather have the margin with less complexity than have the big fancy thing with all the complexity when at the end of the day, you're making the same amount of money? I think so. The third thing you need to do is you need to think less and do more. Now, the first 2 things, I'm kind of telling you, you need to really think through this, have a cool head, and that's true. But that doesn't mean I want you to overthink. Where are my overthinkers at? Anybody? Is it just me? Will, are you an overthinker? Okay. Yeah. See, analysis paralysis comes from overthinking. Analysis paralysis comes actually by being intelligent. People with a higher IQ tend to be more overthinkers than everybody else. And the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is this psychological phenomenon that talks about this kind of weird truth, states that people with a high IQ underestimate their ability. And people with a low IQ overestimate their ability. You can watch movies like Jackass and it will all piece together real fast in your brain. But my point is that overthinking is not going to help you as much as you think it will. There's certain things you already know you need to be doing, but you're just not doing it. Do those simple things. If you make 3 offers a day, make 10. Right? If you get 4 phone calls a day, the only problem we need to solve is get it to 10, get it to 15, right? We can solve single problems that move the entire rest of the needles inside of our company if we focus on them. But we get distracted, we overthink, we over-engineer things. The truth is, you might just need to raise your prices 25% and let the chips fall. What is the worst that could happen if you raise your price 25% right now, today, tomorrow? You don't have to announce it to all your customers, just raise it. When you start doing business, they'll say, hey, I thought my price was cheaper last time. You say, yes, actually, Mrs. Jones, it was, due to this and this and this. We did adjust our prices and we're hoping that you understand. And they will understand. And the one weird Karen that doesn't understand can go bye-bye anyway, because when it all shakes out, you're going to make more money. But we can't think about it for 12 months. We need to think about it for 12 seconds and then do it. not with everything, but there's certain things that you know need to be done. You're just delaying it. You're procrastinating on it. And if you want to thrive this year, you need to be having decision velocity. You need to make decisions faster. The goal never has been, nor is it now, to make perfect decisions, but it is to make decisions. So that's my next encouragement. And then last but not least, you need to find ways to add value and get creative with your offers and with your customers. So while everybody else is pulling back their marketing and panicking, what we're going to do is lean into the marketing, but we're going to enhance our offers and our offerings and the packages and the way that we unpack the value that we have. You don't just tell people, we have the platinum package, Mrs. Jones, it's $1,000. We say, oh, Mrs. Jones, I have a recommendation for you called the platinum package. I'm going to let you choose, of course, whichever makes sense for you. I'm excited though. There's 6 pieces to the platinum package that literally fit like a hand in glove for your property. I'll explain why, and then I can answer any of your questions. The first thing you're going to get in the platinum package, Mrs. Jones, is this, this, and this. And this by itself has a value of this. The second thing you're going to get is this. The third thing you're going to get is this. And you're unpacking and adding value by changing the way you articulate what it is you're already selling. That by itself will make somebody watching this an extra $62,000 this year. It'll make someone else another $283,000 this year, because we're not adding value, or we're not helping our customers understand what it is we're already even doing for them. We can attach that to a higher price. Our close rate will go up. The excitement will go up. The enthusiasm will go up. But you got to find ways to add value. Yesterday, I went to Red Lobster by myself. Okay, there's my confession. My family's out of town in Michigan right now, visiting family. They went to a wedding. They're having fun. I'm stuck in Texas by myself. So I ate one meal yesterday, and I went to Red Lobster by myself. It was fascinating. I walked in, and the hostess doesn't even greet me. She wasn't horribly rude, but she just ignored me and then walked away, wandered around, came back. Then she was nice and said, oh yeah, it'll be 5 minutes. And she walked around. It was like 10 or 15 minutes. And then, people were coming in behind me and then leaving because they weren't getting served. They weren't even getting updates. They just weren't being communicated to. So I go to my seat and everything's fine. But I was thinking when I was standing there, if I owned a restaurant, what would I do if the restaurant's full and I'm starting to accumulate a bunch of people in the lobby waiting? What would I do? Because the way that most restaurants handle this is they just say, sorry, it's going to be like a 30-minute wait. It's going to be 45 minutes. And a lot of times the hostess of the restaurant doesn't care, right? Because there's no incentive for her to care. She doesn't care if people leave. But me, the owner, I care if they leave. And really, it's on the owner to train and equip the hostess to do a good job. But what if she gave us like a free piece of cheddar bread or whatever they serve at Red Lobster? What if she gave all the people waiting a free piece of bread and a coupon for half off a dessert? What if they just did that? I wonder how many more dollars they would make over 12 months by doing that every time there is a wait line kind of accumulating in the lobby. I don't know the answer to that question, but what I do know is it's a lot more money than they're doing now. We need to be creative. We need to think outside the box. We need to realize there even isn't a box. We need to light the box on fire. There never was a box, right? You can do this stuff in your business. The way you answer the phone, the way you unpack your value, everything you do. If you want to thrive in 2023, just to recap, you need to relax. Go do your best Western staycation. Get your head right? Get your mind right before you get your grind right. Second thing is you need to solve the right problem. Make sure you're solving the right problem. Do you really need to grow really fast? Or do we need to get more profitable? We need to think less and do more action on the things you already know to do, but you're just nervous and scared to do. And then last but not least, we need to add value to our customers, to our offerings, to our packages, to our services, and be creative and different. Use the law of comparison to separate yourself from all the competition that you have, because you're clearly the best choice. That's why you're on this YouTube channel. You're beautiful and brilliant. I know that it's true. Hey, thanks for being here. And could you leave a comment? Could you share this with someone? Please, it'd be really helpful to me, and it could help them. It could change their life forever. And until next time, I'll see you on the next video.